Hello, hi.
Hi, Ravi.
Welcome to my channel, Sharad.
Thank you, Ravi. It's such a pleasure.
Startups for Breakfast.
Yeah. I love the
Don't you
name.
think the name sounds funny?
No, I think it's not funny, but it's very factful. India today, or rather, not just India, globally, the startup ecosystem is growing, and I think somebody needs to lead this wave. And Startup for Breakfast can be a great initiative to bring the startup story to the fore. It needs to be heard, it needs to be told, it needs to be perceived right. So I think this is a great initiative, and I must thank you from the fraternity of startups that you've started this. That's great. Thank you.
I'll give a one-liner answer for this. The concept behind Startups for Breakfast is every day when you wake up, I want to keep on hearing more and more startups emerging in India,
100%.
right? That's the way things has been in the past few years now, right?
Right.
Second thing, our team, we have done some research. We found out what are the challenges entrepreneurs in specific,
Yeah.
startups in general, they face in India. We broadly categorize them into 5 broad areas. Let's say a startup has an idea. They don't have wherewithal to execute that.
Yeah.
Even if they find out to execute it, they're not in a position to raise right finances.
Yeah.
Even if they get finances, they don't know how to do the go-to-market strategy. Now, having done everything, many startups, many entrepreneurs in this country miserably fail because they don't do right amount of branding.
Yep.
That's what I thought is interesting to bring you to the table. Why not now?
Why not now?
What a great branding. It's a great branding.
Thank you.
Knowing your background, I would probably want you to tell my viewers a little about your background, where you come from, where you are, and how my viewers are going to get benefited out of your expertise and experience.
Thank you, Ravi. First of all, thank you for having me here again.
Your pleasure is all mine.
It's a great place to be in and talk about not only my startup journey, but overall uh, what encapsulates the startup journey for many. About myself, Ravi, you know me, but for the viewers, I've spent almost 30 years with the corporates industry across FMCG, consumer durables, manufacturing, ITES, advertising, public relations, digital and social engagement industry, an alumnus of IIM Lucknow. After almost 3 decades, my last stint with the Scots Kubota as a CCO and also the Chief Innovation Officer for the Innovation Lab, where I incubated many startups with seed funds, which belong to infratech, agri-tech, rail tech.
That's where you wrote the book.
Oh, you know about it, right? Thank you. Yeah, so I wrote Back from the Brink, published by HarperCollins, India. This book was primarily about the turnaround story of Escorts in India. It's a legacy company, a good 75-year-old company, and how there have been facial changes in the journey of that company. A legacy company getting into some kind of a doldrums in between because of a lot of issues, and then coming back with a bang. Uh, and today, a 35,000 plus market cap company, crore company. Now, that's the book all about. It's a turnaround story for them. By the way, it was also kind of a startup when it started, right? So it's
Absolutely.
a
Absolutely.
great entrepreneurial journey for a lot of people and Nanda family.
Good.
Now, after spending these many years and meeting a lot of startups whom we incubated at the Innovation Lab, be it agri-tech, infra-tech, rail tech, information technology, IoT based, Industry 4.0, healthcare. And now I'm also the consultant to IIT Indore, Drishti CPS, where they incubate more than 60 startups in India. I do work with IIT Bombay and now in talks with IIT Hyderabad. In totality, they have a large ecosystem of startups incubated. And they're great guys, great young energy coming in, and they are really promising ones to contribute to not only Indian economy, but how India would come to the radar of innovation. We talk about India becoming the second most innovative country in a couple of years
at the global stage.
at the global stage. So after meeting a lot of startups, Ravi, what I really realized, and being a marketer myself, I had a lot of CXO roles in my previous companies in brand strategy, marketing strategy, go to market, brand building, and creating a lot of brand building for a lot of brands in India. I personally felt there is a void of brand strategy in the startup space.
That brings us to a very interesting question. Sharad, let's take a pause here.
Sure.
Our analysis, when we look at the startup ecosystem,
Yeah.
from the policy perspective, from the landscape of people, those who are wanting to become an entrepreneur, wanting to work with an idea, where do you foresee the changes need to come from?
Well, again, Ravi, it's a great question. Actually, it's a great anecdote for this industry. Now, today in India, you have an ecosystem of more than 170,000 startups. Okay, and these are listed startups on the Indian ecosystem.
170,000 startups listed in the country.
Yeah, in the country. When it comes to Startup India cell. Out of this, and what I'm talking about is organic. I'm not even talking about the inorganic layer of startups, which is already there in India for years.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Because in India, you have an entrepreneurial mindset of millions, right? But they are inorganic chain of startups. As we were talking before, even the session that we're talking right now, even a street food guy.
He's a startup guy.
He's a startup guy, right? But he's not a startup listed in India. Right?
Absolutely.
So there's a large inorganic chain, apart from 170,000 plus, I'm talking about the organic layer of startups in India registered. Out of which, Ravi, only 350 plus are funded startups.
I mean, well funded.
Yeah.
They reach the stage of unicorn.
No. So, unicorns are around 130 plus unicorns in India right now.
In India today, okay.
Which we are talking about reaching to a count of 150 plus in next 3 to 4 years more.
3 to 4 years more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I say 350 funded is they have either raised seed or they have got an anchor funding partner, or some of them have raised the series A, B or C. Otherwise, the rest of them are still bootstrapped.
Interesting.
Right?
Interesting. So when someone is in a startup ecosystem, bootstrapping and starting up, what do you think could be the challenges for them?
Well, a bootstrapped startup has got a lot of challenges. One, when we say bootstrap means you are using your own capital.
Correct.
In building a startup.
It's like building something out of the garage.
100%. It's like you have a piggy bank. Right?
Right.
And you breaking that piggy, right, to take out your own corpus and utilizing that for something which you're not too sure of right at the start.
What the returns are going to be.
Yeah, it's an idea.
Correct.
It's a dream.
Correct.
It could just be a passionate venture.
Correct.
Right? Which some of them are very clear and focused with their journey ahead, that where they intend to reach. But there are a lot of people who are still experimenting. And by the way, a lot of these experimenters are either they have worked in the industry and come out of the industry after years and they want to start their own passion dream for something. There are some who have just turned out of the college and they have started a startup, right? And there are some who have really got a well-settled experience, right? And they know that this is a venture, they will be successful.